The Watts building has two types of awnings, hardtop and ragtop. I'm going to start with the hardtop awning first. Instructions are showing the awnings attaching at the top of the entrance portals, whereas on the prototype Watts building, it has it attaching below the transom windows. And as you can see, it's angled upward a bit. For that, I'll be using the one that comes in the kit. Okay, I got the piece painted to the ivory color, the same as the building. And then what I did was I filed the back at a 10% degree angle. And that proved to be too extreme. So to fix that, I had to glue a piece of styrene on here to re-thicken it. And then I filed it at a 5-degree angle, and that should be much better. Okay. Alright, so the awning is going to fit right about here, right underneath the transom lowered beam here. About like that. Yeah. So what I need to do is extend this beam across. So I'm going to take some of this leftover window assemblies here. There we go. And yeah, then I'm going to use the transom window portion of this. So let us. How's this going to work? At the very least, I'm going to take these out. There we go. And this will fit in like that. Okay, and that will give me an alignment for that, for the awning. There we go. So I got color put on it, and then I also have some put a little sheet of acetate on the back there. And so now we're ready to glue in line it up with the beam right there. Get it centered. Yes. There we are. I'll let that dry before I touch it. The kit comes with these struts, and these fit into the holes drilled into the awning, and then they fit into holes drilled into the wall. Whereas the Watts building has these chains that I think are rather nifty, so I think I'm going to give that a try. For that, I'll be using this black chain that I got from A-Line. It is 12 inches long and has 15 links per inch. I have these brass eye pins that I got from Micromark that I use as anchors for my pull-off wires on my overhead trolley wire. I measured off where the 2 extra holes are going to go, and then got it started with the X-Acto. And then my X-Acto knife has this has the star clamp there at the end, and so I can use it as a pin vise for my drill bit. Alrighty, here we go. And there's one. And there's two. And then these eye pins should fit into there. There we go. Yeah, they'll go in like that. So I need to turn these pins into hooks. So I'm going to cut off the very tip here. And there we go. Voila, a hook. Get a little glue on there. And okay. It's backwards. Turn around. There we go. Too deep. There we go. That ought to do it. And then, of course, I drilled matching holes on the building and glued in hooks for that. Okay, so the chain couldn't reach all the way to the pins. So what I ended up having to do was take the pins out and get them on the chain and then reinstall the pin. Oh no, I'm gonna lose it. Get back on there. There we go. This is super fiddly. This is taking a very long time. There we go. Get that in the hole there. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay. There we go. And suck out the excess. And should be that one's a little loose, but it should be in there. All right. That was hard. That was tough. Okay, well that completes the hardtop awning. Now it's time to tackle those ragtop awnings. I drew some designs up on the computer, trying out different proportions to see what looks right. I even tried a design that had a built-in sag to it, which looked great from the side, but it kind of bulgy from the head-on view, and it just looked too weird, so I had to let it go. Once I had a design that I was happy with, I printed it out on this thicker paper. Then I folded them up and gave them a good blast of sealer. Hopefully that will prevent them from warping from humidity over time. And then I glued them to the building. And that completes the awning portion of this build. What do you think? Looks all right, huh? Hey, remember that historical photo of the lobby shop I paid $50 for the rights to? Well, in the next installment, we are going to model that lobby shop. So be sure to tune in as I fabricate the counter, build the cabinets, conjure up newspaper stacks for the countertop, paint up a cash register, assemble a rack of magazines, and even attempt a postcard carousel. And then paint up a whole cast of characters to populate the scene. All right, it's been dandy.